Who wants to go first? Woo! So my name is Medina, and I am a co-facilitator of this course, The Liberated Life, and I'm also a former participant. And we're just here to talk with you and get to allow you to get to know us a little better so that you'll want to participate.
Yes.
And who are you?
I'm Hannah Duplessis, and I'm the other co-facilitator of the course A Liberated Life. And we would like to, we understand that it's a huge commitment to commit time and money to a thing where you don't know the people. So we thought we'd just talk a little bit about what you can expect.
Yeah. So to me, I feel like a liberated life is more of like a process, like you're walking towards a liberated life and you're looking for those spaces and parts of yourself that you want to step more fully into. It's a coming home to yourself. It's an uprooting and kind of unpacking of things that maybe you haven't taken a look at in a while, and really leaning into your joy and who your best self is to you. That's how I see a liberated life. And it's something that I think is very personal. It's a personal embodiment of all those things, of leaning into your joy and starting to kind of be and act and do from that space, as well as taking those experiences and that process and that embodiment and working towards kind of a collective liberation as well, and kind of a whatever it is that you want to contribute to the world in your work, raising a family, in your own personal life. I think it's all applicable. Just so it's really like an undergoing of a personal process and seeing how it can better your own life, and then allowing that process to impact who you reach, who you teach, who you touch, who you work with. That's how I kind of see it.
The seeds of the course is for me in my own midlife crisis, where I realized that I was not living my best life. And I was living the right life by all standards. But I realized that inside I was really unhappy. And so the course was me falling apart and realizing that I didn't have any tools to bring myself together again. And so I was looking for practices, like how do I practice self-compassion? How do I practice being still so I can navigate my way forward? And this course is a collection of practices that we'll offer to you and will come from both our lives. It is a way for you to try on what works for you. Does it feel good? And if it does, we'll encourage you to make that part of your habit. This is like yoga practice. If you learn a few asanas, the stances, you can start having a practice.
Yeah, and I think just from speaking from having experienced the course and participating in the course, it was really a way for me to have tangible skills and looking at my default practices, really looking at the ways that I have been conditioned through society via racism, sexism, patriarchy, all of those isms, and all of that socialization that produced, all these traumas within me, that some that I knew were there and some that I didn't even know was there. So the course really helped me to notice those things with a sense of compassion, right? And not beat up on myself for having those thoughts or having those feelings, feeling like I'm wrong for having them. And instead just being able to be with those thoughts, be with those feelings, but also have practices for really looking at them, becoming more self-aware, how I can notice those things from moment to moment within my life, and replacing those default practices with intentional practices based on the commitment to myself and the life that I wanted to live. And just knowing that, practice is just doing something over and over and over again, and knowing that, I have these default practices. I have these beliefs. I have this socialization. There was internalized racial inferiority, like all of these experiences. All of that is there. And so I know that this is a lifelong practice. I'm always healing, and being able to just embrace that every moment isn't going to be one where I respond perfectly, whatever perfectly is. It's just where it is, where I am at that moment, and knowing that I always have an opportunity to try again. And that's what practicing is for me.
One thing that we do is we create a space together. As a group, we agree on what does it mean to have a space safe enough for transformation. So we create a culture of support for ourselves and one another, and you take that out into the world where you make literally a safe space for yourself in your home. So we create a space together. What I love about this course is that we're going to co-facilitate, and we're intentionally recruiting for a mixed race group because we've been socialized away from ourselves and away from one another. Getting back into ourselves and back together is part of the beauty of living now. And so expect a beautiful group, a mixed race group. Expect us to challenge you because we want you to shine and grow, and we know that a lot of what we've been internalized and eaten keeps us small and stuck. So expect us to lovingly push you forward with, not push you forward, to lovingly invite you into larger perspectives and growth. What would you add to that?
In terms of some of the topics, I remember we talked about default and intentional practices, self-awareness, looking at our beliefs. We talked about being in strong emotion, which that was an important one for me, because through my life experiences, I recognized that I dissociate. So like I can just, go somewhere else. My body's here, my mind and my thoughts and my feelings are somewhere else. But the practices of being in our bodies and getting into our bodies and being with whatever that strong emotion is, I think was really, really valuable practice for me to learn and just do over and over again. That was a really great takeaway. We will learn about and talk about the surrendering to rest. I remember that, right? And self and collective care is just so very important. Really valuing ourselves and taking care of ourselves, and allowing a community as well to support us and lift us up and hold us up. So I would say the space it felt very safe for me to be able to share, to be able to be vulnerable, to be able to laugh as well. We will laugh. We will have some fun.
You made us rap.
Do we rap? Yeah, we did rap a little bit, right? So there's a focus on creativity as well as just kind of tapping into that creative energy that we all have and being artists of our own lives. Yeah, that's what I recall.
If you feel called to participate in positive change in this time, and you feel drawn to use yourself as a lab to live your best life, this is a really good space for you. So I invite you to bring all your reservations. We won't make you do anything. There's no trust falls, I promise. bring all of who you are, and you'll find a really loving community. You'll find two great facilitators and a structure that will really help you develop and shine.